Welcome back to Cycling the Carretera Austral with Austral Bikes, your day-by-day guide to cycling one of the most spectacular roads on Earth. Today is day 3, from the lush valley of Cochamó to the coastal village of Contao. Imagine cycling through a place where kingfishers dive beside you, mist shrouds ancient mountains, and the road ahead might just lead to the most memorable dinner of your life. That's what awaits on Chile's Carretera Austral.
That sounds absolutely magical. What makes this particular stretch so special?
Well, this 40-kilometer section from Cochamó to Contao follows Route 569 along the Reloncaví Estuary. And here's what's fascinating. It's one of the few places where you can cycle alongside a fjord while having pristine rainforest on your other side. The biodiversity here is just incredible.
Hmm, that's such an unusual combination. How challenging is this route for cyclists?
You know what's interesting? While it sounds intimidating, the road is unpaved and relatively gentle. The real challenge comes from the weather. You can experience all 4 seasons in a single day.
So, what's the key to handling those unpredictable conditions?
Well, timing is everything. Starting early is crucial, like first light early. The morning mist creates this ethereal atmosphere, and you'll avoid those afternoon winds that can turn a pleasant ride into a real challenge. Plus, the early start gives you time to stop and watch wildlife.
That's fascinating about the wildlife. What other creatures make their home along this route?
Oh man, it's like a living nature documentary out there. Besides the kingfishers, you've got these elegant herons that stand like sentinels along the water's edge. And if you're lucky, you might spot dolphins playing in the fjord. The local fishermen told me they occasionally see sea lions too, especially during the salmon runs.
Speaking of local fishermen, tell me about the human elements along this route. What's it like interacting with the communities?
This is where the journey gets really special. Take Pulci, for instance. It's this tiny hamlet halfway through the route where time seems to move differently. The locals have this incredible knowledge of weather patterns that no app can match. And when you reach Contao, well, that's where some of the most memorable moments happen.
What makes Contao so special?
You know, on paper, Contao is just a small fishing village, but there's this amazing tradition of hospitality there. I ended up having dinner with this local family. They served these enormous mussels that had been harvested that morning, prepared with a recipe that's been passed down for generations.
That's exactly the kind of authentic experience travelers dream about. What about practical considerations for someone planning this route?
Here's what's crucial. You need to pack smart but light. Waterproof everything is non-negotiable, and you'll want to carry enough food for the full journey. There's also this important detail about the next day's ferry to Horno. You absolutely need to book that in advance. I met these cyclists who got stuck for 3 days because they didn't know about the reservation system.
Sounds like preparation is key. What would you say is the most unexpected aspect of this route?
Well, it's probably how this stretch of road manages to combine so many elements into one experience. Like in the morning, you might be cycling through dense fog, feeling completely isolated, then suddenly the mist clears and reveals this massive container ship moving silently through the fjord.
That's such a powerful image. Any final advice for someone considering this journey?
You know what I'd say? Learn some basic Spanish phrases, but more importantly, learn to slow down. This isn't a route you want to rush through. Every bend in the road has potential for an amazing story, whether it's spotting wildlife or being invited into someone's home for mate tea. And always check the ferry schedule for the next day. That's the key to continuing your journey south into Patagonia.
It sounds like this route is as much about the journey as the destination.
Exactly right. And that's what makes the Carretera Austral so special. It's not just about covering distance. It's about discovering these moments that stay with you long after the ride is over. Tomorrow you'll catch your first ferry south, so it's important to plan ahead. From Contao, you'll continue to Horno, where you'll board a ferry that takes you deeper into Patagonia. Advance reservations for that ferry are highly recommended. That's it for day 3. Tomorrow we ride to Horno, and the adventure really begins. Until then, stay safe and keep pedaling south.